You smell that? Love is in the air. Welcome to The End Is.
Gross and sigh.
That's right. We are The End Is Sigh. I'm Nate.
And I'm Todd. They call me Casanova.
Casanova. And I guess I'm co-captain to Casanova.
Yeah, you are Todd's little bitch boy, by the way. So
whoa.
for this week.
Really? The hostility right away. Just like that. We just,
I'm just
started.
reading off the screen, all right? This isn't very lovely. Oh, it's lovely for me, I should say.
This is Todd's chat room. He gave me this title, apparently.
The squeaky door was like, somebody's online. Somebody's offline. It's like an AIM chat session going on here. It's the Valentine's thing. We're just talking over each other because we love to talk, baby. Yeah, the love is in the air for sure. This is we figured all this is right in time for the romantic season. So we're trying to theme shit. Listeners, I don't want to be here. You don't want me to be here. I mean, the rest of the episode you will hear me talking a lot, but right now you don't like these pop-ins because, as you already know, as you've already heard, there's some issues with the audio, and I'm losing my goddamn mind. I can't. Every week it's something new. We're like, we fixed that. Oh, now we've got this, and now we've got that, and blah 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 blah. And now this is probably one of the worst ones because every time a certain audio enigma talks, you'll hear a click, 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 and guess what? Spoiler alert, it's not me, but I don't know. I can't figure it out every time, so I apologize. I personally know that Nate doesn't know that there are new listeners to this podcast, and what an episode to introduce you to the pod with is this messy one. So honestly, hopefully you can just pretend like we're in some, Fallout world where you're listening to some crackly radio feed, and that's, just some weird feedback, and you're just roaming the wasteland. That's what I'm going to have to ask you to do here for this episode, and potentially the next one, because they were recorded back to back. But I haven't been brave enough to listen to that one yet. But anyway, sorry for the audio. Hopefully it's tolerable. And one of these days, maybe by episode 100, we'll have it figured out. That is the Todd promise. So, you can count on that. Anywho, thank you for listening, and good luck with the rest of the episode. Okay, bye, everybody.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, I kind of went through, and Todd's actually got a plan for like the next couple months at least.
I do.
So maybe we'll be better and on top of it. Probably not. We're the not professional.
Don't put that
podcast.
on us. Yeah, don't put that on us. I don't think. Let's not promise any professionalism here. That's not our brand.
Todd makes us look good on paper.
I do. I plan shit out. I try, and I'm like, here, we'll do this and this and this, and then it comes to it. I'm like, oh, that's not going to make any sense. Or we totally forgot to do that. We're never. I'm trying to get us to be forward thinking, but that's not really our brand, like I said. So, who knows? It's always chaos at the end of the day, and it's always sigh at the end of the day. So that's my segue for why we're called The End Is Sigh. Why are we, Nate? If you want to put that into further context for everybody.
One day Todd texted me, hey, let's restart the podcast, and I may have sighed a bit, but we're here again, so that's why they're The End Is Sigh.
From the reboot? You should have seen Nate look up at the ceiling like, I know that wasn't accurate. So this is, guys, remember what I just was saying about chaos and how nothing is really planned? This is what happens when we talk off the cuff. It's nonsense. But anyway, we are The End Is Sigh. We review movies, and then we talk about the themes that we find within them. This episode is a movie review. And what is that movie for this week, which we'll get into in a little bit?
This movie is The Family Man.
It sure is, from 2000. But before that, anything to report over the last week or so?
I guess The End Is Sigh, plus my wife, went on a bit of a road trip.
We hit the road, baby.
Yeah.
We went to Grand Ole, Utah, where the Mormons play, and I don't have a rhyme for the other half of that. I should have ended with the Mormons play. That would have been something. I don't know.
Yeah, he looked
the
at the
skies are
ceiling
gray
just
and the
as I
Mormons
did.
play. Oh fuck. I don't even know if I should redo that joke. If you can parse what I said while you were doing that, great job, listeners. You're eagle-eared. All right. But yeah, so we did go to Utah. How was that trip? You want to recap it? Just what shenanigans we got into?
First off, the trip was smooth sailing. No traffic. Always love that. A little bit of snow. Should have been more.
Nice way to put that.
Yeah.
On the way, got some blusteriness, then went away. On the way back, it started to get precarious.
Yep.
A lot of snow on the road, and it was at night. At one point on the way home from me, so I dropped these two lovebirds off. I say these, the ephemeral, your wife somewhere, in the general vicinity. I dropped you off at home, and then when I was going back, I couldn't use my windshield wipers on either side because everything had frozen. Because the next day worked just fine. It wasn't like they were out. So that's how cold it was. And yeah, that was fun. So luckily I didn't even try to use them until I was almost home. So you kind of like peer through the murkiness because they're like, I'm not stopping on the side of the freaking highway to do this. So.
Nope. You ever do the, as the windshield wipers going, you reach out with your
I've never done the
arm
reach around.
and try to slap the ice off?
I've never done that. I can say that. Have you done it?
I have.
Maybe I'm too short for that. Maybe my arms don't fly out the front of to grab the windshield wiper in motion too, or do you have to pop?
Yeah, it's in motion. Yeah, you're driving,
be dangerous.
and it hits about 12 o'clock, and then that's when you grab it and let it slap back down on this windshield.
Slap it down. No, I've never done that. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. I would pull over and handle that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of that, you think that by now they would have figured out something so ice doesn't build up on the windshield wipers? Maybe there is something, and we're adults.
Just heated wipers. Yeah, just heated wipers, right?
Yeah, you'd think.
I mean, everything else is fucking heated. They've got those tiny little lines in the glass and the different windshields that you can get. Yeah, but tiny lines, same thing, right? But you can put those tiny lines inside the windshield wipers. I'll pay a little bit more for wipers that never frost over because you're saving money in the long run. This is very riveting stuff, guys. Because in the long run, they're not going to ice over and they're not going to chip because that's where they all start breaking and they get really unleveled, and so that's where it leaves shit behind on the windshield. You're avoiding all that if ice never builds up, but whatever.
Someone message us if we're doing something wrong. It could just be something on us, honestly.
No, I guarantee what it is that they just already exist. That's what the issue is. Some sort of battery-powered bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so besides the trip there, which was there's a lot of driving, and some of us got to watch entire movies. But I did drive. We had some scenery action. We didn't really stop and see any sights, but we did see a few gas stations, and those are always a trip because when you go in there, middle of the nowhere gas stations have China displays. Fine China. There's blown glass. There's switchblades everywhere. I don't get it. There's so much randomness. People are stocking up for their homes in these gas stations in the middle of nowhere. And I don't, it's just the most random stuff. And I always enjoy those things.
I feel like I should have bought one of those things, just hit it in your car.
I mean, you have to really try to hide that in my car. I keep a clean number in there. It is spick and span for most of the time. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
What? Wait,
I'm just referring to the number that was in the back seat of your car for ages.
Okay, all right. Well, that's now a staple of my cars. Okay, there is, guys. This is inside baseball. Anybody enjoying this? So there's a piece of paper. Well, it's like a tag. It's a big. I don't even know what to call it. What's it?
It's a number from a pizza restaurant we went to years and years ago before Mission Impossible.
Okay, yeah.
And, the numbers that you get for your food. Oh, number 52, your order's up. Or it's on a little flag system where they bring you your number. Well, I took that number from that place, put it in the back of Todd's car, and he actually transferred it from his old car to his new car.
I did, and I only did that because I would always forget that it was in the back of my old car. And you guys, anytime you would get in there, you'd be like, oh, it's still here. And I go, what? And you go, oh, that's right. I forgot to take that out. So at that point, it just became I had to transfer it over just to see. And I don't use it's always in the middle console. I don't use that shit. What am I doing sitting in my own middle console in the back seat? If I'm doing that, I'm living in my car. Then we have to have conversations. All right. But anyway, get back to Utah. What happened in Utah itself? Besides seeing we saw some friends. So.
Yep. Went out, saw some friends. Great hospitality by them. And we did an escape room while we were out there. A massive one at that. So it was 3,000 square feet. It was a Dragon Quest theme. And we all
I think it was called Dragon's Quest, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And we had to go through, we picked our class at the beginning in the sense of wizard, thief, knight, or alchemist.
Yes. And they were all perfectly the same in terms of what's involved and how much fun you have, correct?
Not for you.
Yeah, so
it stole the fun from you.
Yeah, okay. This guy's punning it up. So we were the thieves. I and somebody else was a thief. And my God, it was just one hallway with almost nothing to do. It was like figure out some picture puzzles and then stand there. Everybody else was using wands, multiple wands, making things smoke, making things open up, activating cannonballs, playing with swords. We didn't have anything in our hands. There was nothing. So we basically became the assistants. I helped Nate with a very ridiculous sound puzzle with a bookcase. I helped your wife with a crystal joke kind of connection thing, like all sorts of stuff. It was a big place, and it would like the set dressing, like they put a lot of money and time into it. That doesn't always correlate to everything working great. I would get rid of the segmenting of the who does what for what job in what room, because it was fairly siloed and some of us didn't have as much to do. But other than that, it was a pretty good escape room, I think. Just what went into it.
Yeah. No, I feel like it was a good escape room. I think the biggest flaw, though, is that it was big. Just because there's so much going on that you don't get to experience what everyone else has experienced. There was a point where we were working on a puzzle, and you just hear from another room, guys, come look at this. And I'm like, you can't get to the other room.
No, well, at that point, you and I were listening for very subtle tone changes in a thing on the speaker. Yeah. And on the other side, it's just cannonballs bursting through things. Oh, come here, check it out. Love the enthusiasm, but we were like, we can't shut the fuck up. Like, I can't hear anything. Because we're like, obviously, it's an escape room. We're on a time crunch. But no, they nailed their rooms. Everybody got their stuff, like, really, really locked down. So, I mean, it was a fun thing. Everybody had a good time, I think.
Yeah. And so it was Utah, and then we escaped Utah.
Well, we also did a steakhouse, which had a very interesting like decor. It was called the Timber Mine.
Yep.
Yeah, they had. It's almost like they had. If you've ever been to the Big Texan or any sort of, I'm trying to think if there's anything like that or it's almost like Casa Bonita. It feels like that. Like there's a lot of dressing, so a lot of atmosphere and personality in there, with like almost like mannequins like in front of pianos, and there was these tubs in the waiting room with like little displays or like cityscapes inside of it. It's very unique. But yeah, we had some good food there. We had some good ice cream, and I got a coffee one day. We only specifically went to get a specific coffee that apparently at this place, Beans and Brews, is that what they are?
That sounds correct. Yeah.
They apparently, I didn't get to do this. I asked them, and they said they could do it for me if I wanted it to. But they'll put whipped cream inside the cup and whipped cream on top of the lid. Blew my mind when I heard about it. had to ask about it. Never saw it, but apparently they're like, yep, that's what we do. It's just a little, I don't know, extra thing for a little treat for people as they're drinking their cup. And I was like, that's something. That is a shtick. I will give them that. That is I don't want to eat whipped cream off the top of my cup. It's like a pup cup on top, so I could see that.
Well, I was going to say, how many people you think are just, they get the coffee and they're like, all right, my dog can have this. They can lick off the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and drink my coffee.
But then you have to also drink out of the lid. Your dog might have just slobbered the shit off of.
Someone is probably doing that.
Oh, guaranteed they're doing that, with or without the whipped cream, by the way. But, no, yeah, so it was a nice trip. We were in and out of there pretty fast. I mean, we didn't There was no one tried to convert me. No, we didn't get to see a temple. We did see them. We didn't go visit or anything like that. We got to see like the headquarters and the museum and all that stuff. So right in the heart of all of it. So that was interesting. But yeah, that was our. It was a quick little nice trip.
It was, yeah. All right, and then from there, Todd, I still haven't done anything for this segment, and I don't know if you have anything for your weekly ins and outs.
You know what's in this week? Todd's segment. You know what's out this week? Not Todd's segment. Not yet. Not this week, at least. 1 week, I'll just be so mad or lazy that it just won't happen and we won't acknowledge it. I mean, we'll look at each other in the camera and go, uh-oh, and then we'll just move on.
We'll forget about it and we won't lose any sleep.
Ooh, I mean, I will. I'll wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. But it won't be because of this. Now, my in for this week are establishments like Brewability and the Friendship Grill, and honestly, any place that tags on the ability, like they make a pun out of it. So there's been like Bakeability and Sweetability, which are bakeries, obviously. But any of those places that are considered inclusive workspaces that hire individuals with disabilities or challenges or anything like that. And it's just, those are the nicest, coolest places to see advertised. I see them all the time on social media, but Brewability is actually not that far from where I am. And I went there and got some pizza and beer. It's amazing to support good people doing good things when there's so many bad businesses and bad practices out there. Like, go support these groups that are going out of their way to like meet challenges head on and be like, you know what, it's a tougher, I'm sure, workforce to kind of coordinate because there's all these other considerations that go into staffing and needs and everything, but they're out there doing it and they're running successful businesses and serving the public and just giving a good time. When I was there was an entire bachelorette party. They were all dressed in pink, singing Pink Pony Club. Like, and it was just great. I mean, I don't know. I can't say enough about the atmosphere of some of these inclusive spots. And I think that we just need more of those.
All right.
And my out is the opposite. It's businesses phoning it in rather than selling to somebody else or staffing it appropriately. Okay. Now I'm talking about a local smoothie shop of mine. I've had some interesting encounters in there. This one specifically hasn't updated their specials since April. Their big board that says specials. So that tells you right away, things aren't on the up and up. No one's keeping track for months that things are going on, 5 feet in front of them. But this place, I think it's just the two owners that are only in there. And every time you go in, they're like sitting in a chair in the darkened back room that you can see, just like on their phones, shoes off, just chilling. And then they'll get up, kind of get ready when you come in. Not once has anybody ever washed their hands. Just not once. And my instinct is to open the door, see who's there, turn around and leave. But then I feel too guilty. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to order something. But luckily I get one with banana and stuff. So they're scooping right in and then they're opening a banana and dropping it in. They never actually have to touch my food. So I'm getting just a drink. Like, I won't take like a straw, from them if it was open, but there's, closed straws. So I'm making, choices to stay in there, but I really like the drinks, and it's just one of these times I'm going to get real sick and I'm going to be really upset at myself.
I just want to see you go in there, go up to the counter, get ready to order, wait for them, just look at them, not going to wash your hands. All right, have a good day, and just walk out.
It's reached my lips, and then I'm just like, then I'm like, well, if it's only the owners running it, maybe they're just like really struggling and they're just trying to keep this dream alive. But I'm also like, you could do the bare minimum. Again, guys, all I ask is for the bare minimum. I don't know. Anyway, so out is bad business, in is good business. And that's Todd's in and out for the week.
All right. I got none, so you're not getting any ins and outs from me.
I didn't expect that. What's out is Nate's in and out. That sounds like, hey, you're not getting laid. Which leads me to the movie review. Is it time?
It is time.
This movie doesn't really anything about sex, but at
the beginning it does.
I mean, there's mentions, like, people have sex in this world. That's for sure. I don't think there's even sex scenes in this movie. But anyway, it is 2000's The Family Man. directed by Brett Ratner, who is a piece of shit, but he had some bangers back in the day. And it stars Nicolas Cage, Téa Leoni, who is, I mean, I've had a crush on her since this movie came out. It's insane. Don Cheadle, Jeremy Piven, and then you got a few surrounding actors that really stand out. And it's Saul Rubinek as Alan Mintz, Lisa Thornhill as Evelyn Thompson, and Mackenzie Vega, who plays the daughter Annie. And I think everybody just does a great job. But before we get into the plot, Nate, you saw it for the very first time, correct?
Yes, that is.
All right. Thoughts, reaction.
Well, I did not go in expecting to watch a Christmas movie. So that threw me for a loop. And then secondly,
Christmas adjacent, but yeah.
It's a Christmas movie. It begins on Christmas and the movie ends on Christmas. That's a goddamn Christmas movie.
It didn't have to be on Christmas. It would have worked the same way had it not been. But
it would have, but Christmas was there. It was prevalent.
Fine.
Either way.
Besides Christmas.
Got done watching it, and over the course of like 24 hours thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that was a good, fun movie. And then I'm like, fuck, no, that's a sad movie. That's a very sad movie, actually.
But it's a fucking great movie. And I will fight anybody.
Yeah, no, it's great, but it is very sad when you think about it.
Yes, no, there's a lot of implications to how this movie ends and the stage that has been set. I don't want to cut you off. If you've got any things before we jump on the review, then I can kind of go into
I was going to get your thoughts on the movie.
Well, I've seen this movie plenty of times. I actually busted out the DVD to watch this again yesterday, and I still find it just as engaging as I did the first time. Like, I love, again, the acting. This is classic Cage, but I mean, it's got the heartfelt moments, but it's also funny. It's got some Cage moments. And it's just, I don't know, just the sound and the setting is just so, it feels like an 80s movie. Like, it just feels like that magical realism. And I don't know, and it's got the dressings, and I didn't really, maybe I had in the past, but I really realized this time that it's got the dressings of A Christmas Story. Or what it's, it's A Christmas Story, right? Scrooge. Not, what's the one with the kid that goes down the slide in the bunny suit? I don't think you've ever seen it. That's A Christmas Story.
That's A Christmas Story, yeah. Where he wants the BB gun.
Yeah. What's the Scrooge? What's that one called?
Scrooge?
No, like the Muppets Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol
okay.
is what I'm thinking. Yes. God, they're so close. But yeah, it's like it's got the dressings of A Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life, which was intentional, and just different pieces. I feel like if you watch this movie and then you watch Love Actually, you'll go, oh, I think they took some stuff from Love Actually or from this to put into Love Actually. But again, like even with Love Actually and some of those movies, it's got a very dark kind of undertone, and not like sinister, but sad and real. To what you were saying, you end it and you go, man, this movie's great, and then you're like, oof, the reality hits in. But yes, that's setting the stage. I'm not going to do a spoiler alert thing in here, but we'll get into the plot now.
Nate, real quick, actually, before we get into the plot, this movie you picked was kind of a what if in a sense. Time jumps, all this. The last movie you picked was another time jump, like almost what if in a sense.
Coincidence?
Okay, I wasn't sure if you're going for a theme or what you're doing.
No, total coincidence. This one I specifically threw out there because of the romantic kind of like good feeling. Like it's about love ultimately again, like most good movies. It's that. So I felt it fit with this Valentine's week. And the movie we'll do next, which we won't even reveal until the next episode, is also in that same vein. So.
Yep.
So should we start into the review here?
Let's do it.
All right. Do you want me to kind of set the stage here?
Let's set the stage. Dim the lights.
Oh, hold on. Let me just go. That's the sound of a light going off.
I don't know if that's the sound of a light going off.
Oh, you don't have lights that make noise? I need that haptic feedback type thing, Okay. Well, the movie starts in 1987 with Nick Cage, who is playing Jack, and Téa Leoni, who is Kate, are at the airport and they're saying goodbyes. Jack's going to go on this big trip or a business trip for like a year, or like school or something, either way. And she asks him to stay and says, I just feel like you should stay and not go. And he says, he's like kind of into staying. And then he's like, all of a sudden he's like, nope, I'm going to go. I'll see you in a year. And then what do you know? Fade to black, come back. It's 13 years later. It is the year 2000. And Jack's a new man. He's got a new life. He's a new asshole. And he's got new ass. Because I think that's a prostitute.
Is he an asshole?
Yes.
Explain.
Okay. He is basically Scrooge with Bob Cratchit in the office. He's making them work on Christmas. They even call that directly out. And he's like, whatever, it's just Christmas. Like, that's the classic staples of an asshole character when they make his entire office come in and work. And he's very full of himself. But I get, like, he's not completely, like, he's an asshole in the sense of, like, greed and ambition, where he doesn't care who gets in his way to get there. But he is a nice guy at the end of the day. And that comes pretty clear. So it definitely ebbs back and forth pretty fast. But I think he's meant to be, like, you don't want him to be this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
But so what do you think? You think he was just good the whole way through?
I thought he was a good guy overall. I mean, I see where the asshole comes in of, the Scrooge. I was going down the route of like, oh yeah, he's trying to help his doorman with like stocks and trading and stuff like that. So there's like good with that. He seems to have a good rapport with his neighbor and everything, of like the sex jokes back and forth with her, of the tension. And then later on, of course, the scene in the gas station, we'll get to there.
No, I agree. So they're setting the stage of this guy needs to be different. So he has to be an asshole in some regard, because it is like, it really comes down to money and power of like, this is what he wants. He wants to have this lifestyle, and that is his quote unquote asshole behavior. But yeah, ultimately the dude's a good guy. And obviously that's why he is our protagonist and we're following him. But back to my earlier comment, do you think that was a prostitute or a friend?
I guess I didn't think prostitute. I just thought a hookup, maybe someone from the office.
Oh, a situationship.
Yep.
About
you thought it was a prostitute?
Well, because you don't really, there's no like hangout. It's just she shows up twice and it's just to have sex. So it could be like a friends with benefits, but he even kind of dismisses her. Spoiler for later in the movie. Like, he doesn't really owe her an explanation or anything. It's just kind of like, all right, bye, I got to go. Like, he just ignores her in this like vulnerable state. And like, okay, he must not care about her on a friendship level.
Did he like prepay for a year or something? What?
Yeah, Jack's got that money. He's got that fuck you money, which we'll get to a little bit later, but he's got fuck you money. And specifically, fuck you money. You know what I'm saying? Mom, turn off that pod, baby. Even jumping back real quick, I said I had a huge crush on Téa Leoni, and she's like the love of his life or whatever, right? In this moment when we were introduced to them. And she's like, stay here for me, Jack. I mean, she seems to be funny and warm, and she's beautiful, but he still leaves. And I'm like, what are you doing? You didn't come back like a month later to visit her. Like, apparently he just never came back for 13 years. Like, it was just, they never saw each other again. Not so much as like a go back and move out, because later on she's giving him his stuff, which is kind of leads the movie back into her kind of realm. Is she carried his stuff for so long, but he never even got that when he was moving out. I don't know. It seems harsh to go that long without seeing each other, but that's the impetus for the entire movie.
It's that one where it doesn't explain, hey, what happened? Why did they go apart? Obviously, he went to London to do his thing. And then before that, he was even saying like, hey, you have your opportunity with law school. So maybe that's what she got busy with. Who knows?
It's true. She also had things to get to that she was going to be really good at too, as we find out. But yeah, you want to explain? So the gas station convenience store, that is a pivotal moment. That is the moment in all the classic movies of there's a choice to be made. But this has a twist on it.
He wants some goddamn eggnog, all right? Just let the man get some eggnog.
Who doesn't? Yeah, right?
So yeah, pretty much Jack goes to the convenience store, gets some eggnog, and while he's there, man enters the door, goes up to the register to turn in a lotto ticket, a winning lotto ticket. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, I just want to get this money, call it good. The cash attendant decides, no, it's fake. You definitely penciled in the numbers. It escalates very quick from there. It's Don Cheadle as cash. And he pulls out a gun and says, "Hey, just give me my money. I want to, just take my money and go." And from
he's
there,
like, he's telling him like it's real. Like, dude, just look at it. But I think the ultimate boil down is it's racism, right? He's like, oh, this black man came in with this lotto ticket and says, I definitely won. Check this out. And the guy's like, no, I'm not even going to look at it. And he's like, dude, I just need you to look at it and your life could be changed, right? Like both of our lives, technically, right?
Yeah. From there, Jack is a businessman and he decides to strike up a business deal of, hey, let me go ahead and buy the ticket off of you. That way you get your money and you let these people go. Just put the gun down. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, it's I really like that to show kind of he's using his evil power, right? His business acumen to make a deal to save everybody. Because there's a mother and child in there that's just like, oh no. And it's like, of course, right? Whatever. It's like there's stakes to it.
Yeah. So you go back to the businessman that he's evil. Why do you gotta say he's evil in that moment? After
I'm saying
the incident happens.
I did not say that.
You said he was a businessman on a power trip.
No. I believe he is that. I'm saying in this moment, he's using what is described as like his evil is that he's so like he's all business and money. He uses that to help somebody, which I thought was a nice little play on it. I'm saying two things out of both sides of my mouth. I need you to keep up with me here. But no, yeah, I really like Cheadle in this. And I think he does play to that Christmas Carol thing. He plays the ghosts of past, present, and future. I think he's all three of those lessons in there. He just kind of sets, Jack on this path. And when he's talking to the cashier, the twist on this like moment of choice is when he says no, when he goes with Jack, Cheadle says, damn, you had your chance too, which means that guy was going to get the chance to change things.
That's a whole other movie right there now.
It is. It really is. Like you could go back and have Cheadle follow different people. It could have been an anthology or whatever, but I thought that was very unique that this, whatever you want to call Cheadle, an angel, a force of something, I don't know. He was there to give this guy a chance and Jack just happened to step in the path and it wasn't expected. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to give you a fucking chance to make things right. And it was just, I really liked that twist on it. But yeah, he goes outside and he talks about giving Jack a glimpse, as he calls it.
Yeah, by the way, I think Don Cheadle, you say angel, ghost, whatever, spirit. Mm-hmm. I think it's just Don Cheadle. I think he has that power. I think it's just him.
I believe it.
His charisma.
Awesome, dude. Have you seen Hotel Rwanda? My God, dude. That dude can act his ass off. But no, he's great as Cash. But yeah, but he does an offer for Jack outside. Basically, are you happy? He does that kind of classic thing. Are you happy with your life? Is there anything you would do differently? And Jack's kind of like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm fine, whatever. And he's like, all right,
I have everything I need.
Yeah. He's like, all right, well, remember you chose this, which is kind of like, he didn't really choose it. There's almost like Cheadle's making that inference for him and the cashier of like, you could have been choosing this. I'm going to choose it for you. I see something bigger at play here. And, and then it starts snowing, which is a huge thing, a keystone kind of moment for this movie is that every time it snows, something big is happening in his life, in the kind of like whether it's like an epiphany or something. And it snows and he goes home, he goes to bed and he wakes up and everything's exactly the same. Right? I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, it sounds right too. You're opening my eyes to this because I've only seen this once, but didn't realize the whole snow, big changes are happening.
Yeah, and it was also a tie to It's a Wonderful Life. Like apparently that was intentional for the filmmakers, where you're standing in the snow and it's beautiful shots of the snow falling around him at night and like the lights. It's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, then from there he wakes up not in his own bed.
Oh.
But it is his own bed.
Yeah, technically.
He wakes up next to Kate.
He does.
And all of a sudden his life, he has no idea what's happening. And this is where Nicolas Cage does the best Nicolas Cage thing of he freaks out in the moment of certain things happening in the best way possible.
Yes. I love Cage in reaction mode.
Yeah.
He realizes, he's like, okay, well, she's here. Maybe he's probably thinking he's hungover or something happened the night before. But then he hears, or Annie, the daughter, runs in the room. And I can't think of, Josh is the baby, basically. And that Josh is crying. Like everything's just chaos. And Téa Leoni just sees her husband as far as she's aware, right? And he's like, I got to get out of here. And she's like, coffee, strong or something like that now. And he's like, okay. So she thinks he's just going to get coffee and he leaves the house and does not come back for a long time on Christmas Day. So it is Christmas Day, for the record.
Yeah. He decides, all right, this is not where I belong. I need to go back home. Need to go to his high-rise apartment, whatever. Gets there, finds a doorman. Doorman doesn't let him in, doesn't recognize him. The old lady he has sexual tension with in the elevator, she comes out, also doesn't recognize him. They both just look at him like, hey, man, you need some help? We can get to a shelter or something around here. He's just baffled that they don't recognize him.
Yeah, it's a fucking mind trip. I mean, what would you do if all of a sudden you woke up, you were in a different place, and no one from your quote-unquote life knew who you were? Because he's like, this has got to be a big scam, right? Like, everybody's in on some sort of global prank, because then he goes to his office, and then when he realizes, when he points at his like CEO, I am the CEO, and he's like, oh, fuck, it's Alan now. Alan's the guy that he used to be on the placard, so he knows something bigger than just somebody playing a game. They would have had to change placards and shit in the office to make this work, and that's when he runs into Cheadle driving his car outside. And Cheadle looks like dapper, and he's speeding around and everything. And I love the idea that Nicolas Cage is trying to get these answers. Like, what the hell's going on? And Cheadle's like, this is a glimpse, man. You just kind of have to live through it. I can't tell you when when this is over or whatever, but it will be. And here's this bell. It's a bike bell that he hands him. The little ding, 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 ding. And that's key. It's a key implement of what this movie needs. When you hear this bell again, basically, and he's like, what, I can call you and you'll come out? It's like, not quite like how that works. And then he's like, well, tell me. He's like, all right, just get out of the car and we'll talk. And I loved it when Nick Cage gets out, and then Cheadle just fucking floors it the fuck away and leaves him standing there.
Yep, he does such a, because like he even opens his car door like, I'm gonna get out as well. Nope, psych, see ya.
I love that. And then there's another great bit of little comedy with the bell where he gets back and he's like talking to Kate, and he's basically trying to explain to them, like, this is not me, this is not my life, which she thinks is just a midlife crisis, but he's like, no, seriously. And he starts like, she's talking, he's like ringing the bell, he's like, ding, ding, he's looking around, ding, ding, looking around. Like, he thinks it's all just gonna blink back away, like it's gonna end it. He just looks like a psychopath to her watching him.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but on his way back to the house, the part that I really enjoyed is he had a map trying to figure out where the fuck he lived, because he had that panic of leaving, freaking out, going to his office, not realizing where he left, and then from there trying to navigate his way back to his so-called house.
Yep, which is also, it's kind of a nice little callback to our previous episode on navigation. But yeah, I didn't even think about that when he doesn't have a cell phone with GPS, and even if he did, I guess he wouldn't know the address.
No.
Like, he drove from Jersey to interior of New York City. I don't know if he would be able to just eyeball it back home into the neighborhood, to the house. I wouldn't even remember what the house looked like. He wouldn't have any care for that. So yeah, that's a little logistics that you had to figure out. Speaking again, third time about the bell, is that basically Annie, the daughter, takes the bell, but she clocks this shit immediately. Like, she looks at him and kind of gives like that head tilt of like, something's not right here. And she goes on this whole thing of like, you're not my dad. And Nicolas Cage trying to change the baby, trying to be dad, because he basically has to just accept that this is what's going to happen for the time being. And I love his interaction with the children. I
did not expect to see shit in the diaper. Like, that totally caught me off guard.
The baby actually pees. Like, in the movie, it's not even like an effect. The baby actually pees, and it was like Nick Cage reacting in real time to this.
Oh, man. I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah, especially if he's never been a father. Like, he's like all of a sudden changing a diaper of a baby that is his, but not his, right? Like, he has no attachment to these kids. And this is when Annie is like watching, and she's like, you're not my dad, are you? And I mean, she's adorable, but then she thinks he's an alien. And she's like, and she kind of goes down and like grabs his face, and she's like feeling it. It gave me like, oh, there you are, Peter vibes from Hook when he's like feeling the face. She's like, they think they did a pretty good job, the mothership. And so he's like, oh shit, she thinks I'm an alien. And then she starts asking him questions, because she's like, obviously she's a little girl. She's going to like cry because this is terrifying in a way. And she's like, do you like kids? He's like, it depends on, the case by case basis. Can you make chocolate milk? I think I could figure it out. Will you promise not to suck out our brains? And he's like, yes. And she's like, okay, welcome to Earth. And it's like, it's just great. I don't know. It's just, I love that.
Yeah, no, it's a really good wholesome moment, and she does a really good job of just playing a kid.
Yeah, no, she's got great timing with like the facial features and starting to cry. And he's like, "No, you're not going to cry. I can't handle this right now." And then so he's like trying to do the fatherly stuff, and he drops him off at daycare, and he hands Josh over, and he's like, "Do I get like a receipt or something?" And it's like, that's a great question, because like he's like, "I'm just handing over this child. Do you give me some sort of? Is this a transaction? Do I have to check him back out?" I think that was just great.
Yeah. From there, also, you kind of get more of a glimpse of people in their life as well, where he has his friend, Arnie, who's like his bowling buddy, and they talk about stuff. There's another girl that was introduced that was possibly an affair that was going to happen.
Evelyn.
Yep. And Arnie's there just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? This is not happening.
Well, that's even a little bit later on, right? Like when that's after the because they go bowling. There's a like a Christmas party that they go to, and she's like classic homewrecker, man. She doesn't like, you never really see the husband of her, but it's always inferred that he's like out of town. And I had this written down because I want to be like, Nate, do you think there was actual flirting going on back and forth from original Jack, not the Jack that we know, because he's flirting with her because he's just an asshole, even though he's like married in this reality. He's like, yeah, I'll sleep with this chick. She's hot and she wants to do this and it's an affair. But he's got basically the woman from his old life that he loves and he's still willing to do this. But all that being said, do you think there was actual flirting from Jack to her in the previous timeline? I don't think there was. I think it was just one-sided from her. But do you think there was actually like an affair that would have happened?
I feel like, yeah, it would have happened had he got the address and everything.
Then he's an asshole. No, but I mean the previous, the OG Jack, not our Jack.
Okay. The businessman Jack.
The tire salesman Jack.
Tire salesman Jack.
Would he have slept with Evelyn?
Yeah, it's so hard to say because there's so many different things that you don't know what's happening. When he first goes back to the house and he just by random act, he runs into Arnie's house. Yeah, and Arnie is even like talking about things of like, oh, hey, did it work and all that? Is everything going good? Like, there's all these weird undertones that we're not sure of old Jack, what was going on in his life.
That's true. They might have been having just the normal humdrum like problems for marriage and just like, just normal kind of stuff, or there was some of that bleeding in back and forth. I don't know, because like the way she comes on to him, and then you see how Jack in like the videos and stuff has interacted with his wife Kate, and he doesn't pay Evelyn any sort of mind. He doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like he's in love with anybody else but Kate. Like he's smitten with her. So in my fantasy head, I don't think he ever was into Evelyn. I think she's just a fucking homewrecker, and she was like, I'm going to do this. And he's just always put it off. Cause even, like Arnie has said, she's that's just who she is. She always flirts, but no one ever we don't ever do that because you have the greatest, person on earth at your side. Why would you ruin that? So it was even a shock to Arnie. And I feel like Arnie would have known or said he's already done that had that already been something that was in the works. But yeah, I just was curious. Yeah, I don't, because I think I said he's an asshole. You said he's not an asshole. If he was going to sleep with her, he's an asshole.
Yeah, no, I think that's where he's still living his old life, not realizing what he had.
Boardroom Jack, not tire salesman Jack.
Yeah.
Hope everybody can keep up with us jumping between Jacks. I'm going to jack off to one and the other. Couldn't finish that sentence. I had to play, and then it was too strong even for me.
You might want to finish that sentence.
We were going to jack off back and forth between them. No, that doesn't even work, does it?
Don't finish that sentence, actually. Don't finish anything with jack off. All right, moving on.
Why, maybe I'll just cut all that. Who knows? But yes, there was even there's some classic Cage's moment in here where he goes, I don't know who you have you think I've been, but I'm sorry I'm such a prick now. Like he does like the prick. Or like when he's chasing her around the house, like in a playful manner, he's like, ta-da! And he's like, does the big grand stuff. Those things will stick with you as like a Cage movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of whether he's sleeping with somebody or not, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, Nathaniel, that he did not sleep with Kate when she tried to that first night. He had the chance, and then he pretended to be asleep, even when he knew it was going to lead to sex. And I think that's him being like, this would be assault, right? Because she doesn't know who I am. I'm technically not the person she thinks she's with.
Yeah, no, that's a good call.
Like, I don't think it would have been right for him to do that, because then it would have been a different person sleeping with her, and she wouldn't have known any better.
Yeah, it's definitely that moment of he gets with her, they're in bed, and he just realizes, oh man, you're so beautiful. You are. Why did I leave? Why did I go to London? Just probably overwhelmed with all of these thoughts going through his head. Yeah. But she's just there of like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you so sweet in this moment? So she goes off to change and get ready, but he comes back and he's asleep.
Fake quote unquote sleep.
Yeah.
And then so like basically the rest, I mean, not the rest of the movie, but like a big chunk of this movie is him going back and forth, like a step forward, step back, right? Of, oh, I've learned this lesson. Oh, but I actually want to go to the city and be rich. Oh, I've learned this lesson. Oh, I want the expensive suit. Oh, I've learned this lesson, but I want to move, all this stuff. He just keeps going back and forth because he's trying to balance the two. And he's talking to Kate at one point, and he says, like, this life could have been totally different. We had to settle. We didn't do this and this. How would you look at it? And she says, a great success story. Because she's happy, and it's like perspective is everything. And I think that's really what a big part of this movie is trying to tell you too. It's like, depends on what you actually want, but like where you're coming at it from.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because he finally gets a chance. He gets the opportunity to go back to his job in a sense. They get the big penthouse suite again. They're going to move there, but she's like, no, this is not the life we discussed.
Yeah, well, because he's like, we'll move the kids out here and everything. And she's like, no, man, they've got schools that they like, their family. Like, this is our house, like everything we've been in, like this, you can't just uproot us and move us. I do want to get your opinion on I think what I called the turning point scene is when he's watching the old video of her birthday.
I think that's a good realization of you don't have to give them everything. Like, it's such a meaningful gift that's not money based. And it brought her so much joy and happiness that I think he didn't realize, because he's all about the money and getting the big gift and, monetary stuff. But this was just a song that he sang for her on her birthday.
Yeah, and I really like the la 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 means I love you. He's really good at singing it. Like, it's stuck in my head. I just love him singing through that. And it's very romantic. And you can see the homewrecker in the background just being spiteful as hell, which is great. But I mean, yeah, what a romantic fucking asshole, dude. I tell you. You watch this movie with a loved one, somebody that you're romantic with, and they're going to be like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing over there?
Makes you look like a piece of shit. You're like, I'm not going to sing you a song. Sorry. Fuck.
Sorry about that. Yeah, then, I mean, so he's got this really great moment where he kind of realizes, oh shit, I still love this person. And this look back into that life looks amazing. And maybe I do like that. And then he wakes up and she gives him an anniversary present and she asks for hers. And you're like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, that's a worst fear of mine, is to forget about a big day like that and get surprised by like, oh shit, because there's no really making up for it.
No, it'd always be held over your head. Like, yes, as time goes, all right, yeah, you forgot, whatever. But it's not going to be something that you're going to forget.
Yeah, then he's grown into the role, right? As father, he's doing the daily stuff. He's in the routine. He's basically like, he is the father. And that's when like I think the daughter kind of says like, oh, I knew you'd be back or something like that. And he's like, oh shit. Like, I've fully become the person I would have been had I not left 13 years ago. Like, the vibes are there. Like, the persona is there. Everything is clicking into place. But he does get that kind of like that big test. And that's where his former boss runs into him and says, hey man, you can help me fix my car. And he starts sweet talking him, invites him to the office where he meets Alan. Alan is in charge.
Yep. And then from there, pretty much Jack describes what person they are because he has the insider knowledge of who they are, what they do. And they're just baffled, like, what the fuck? You're saying exactly what we do, belittling them in a sense. But that gets to them as like, well, you know what? We do have a job here for you, I'm sure.
Alan is so afraid of Jack taking like his spot or impressing the boss, and like they're together boss, I guess. And he's so Alan's like, "What do you think you're doing? Your little pet project, you're gonna go away, and Jack's just kind of looking at him bewildered, and he's like, "Ha ha ha, Alan, God, you really are different, aren't you? I'm impressed. Good for you." And then he's just like walks away into the office, and I was like, did money make Alan, who was like, we want to go home and see our families on Christmas, into a piece of shit? Did money make him a piece of shit? Again, this movie is telling you that money is the root of all evil, which you can make the case for it in real life too. But once Jack wasn't in the equation, nice Alan became Jack. So it's like always going to do that, which is, I don't know, it's an interesting thought experiment that would money change anybody, no matter who they are.
Well, maybe we'll have a glimpse of that one day for you.
Oh, God. It's going to be a hellscape. Don't wake me up in the middle of the night to give me a glimpse of something. I don't want to wake up in a different spot. Be in a insane asylum. Yeah, and so then he goes back and he's like, we can do this. I've got this offer. We can move the city. Da 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 da. He kind of gives her the same spiel again. And she's like, no, we can't do this. You need to, like, she keeps accepting him back. She's the most patient woman in the history of film, dude. It's insane how many times she just kind of excuses his ranting and his basically insulting nature to like their marriage and their life. But even after this big one, she comes back in the next day to him and is like, you know what? If you want to do that, if you want to uproot our lives, I'll do that, Jack. I'll do that for you because I love you. She is willing to change her entire life again to make him happy. And that is the choice he wouldn't make for her. So she's almost doing the same thing, but in reverse. She's the one that makes the choice for him. She's always been the better person. And I don't know. I think she's a goddamn delight, and I want to marry that Téa Leoni. Like that's who I want. But no, it's just an amazing thing to kind of see it play out the other side of the equation, where she has to step up and show him that this is a decision he should have made for her. And then you get to basically what you assume is like, I mean, the last night he's like in the garage and ding, ding, you hear the bell. And Annie's got it on the bike, and she's like, "What? Like, I'm just ringing the bell." And he knows. You can see it kind of sink in him, like something's going to happen soon here. And yeah, and then I mean, this is kind of the ending to the movie. It's not a race to the finish, but he goes up to talk to Kate, and he basically tells her like, "Remember me the way I am now. Like, I need you to remember me somehow in your heart. Remember this." And he's basically saying, when you don't remember me and the way this life at all, I need something inside of you somehow. Because, magic exists, right? Like, remember that I am here. And he's like, otherwise, I just won't be able to handle that if you don't. And then he goes to sleep. He tries to stay up, which is, obviously he's like, I'm trying to stay awake. Like, if I don't go back to sleep, if this doesn't reset, falls asleep, wakes back up. He's back in boardroom Jack's bed. And there's a prostitute at the door with a Christmas gift. And they do the Christmas Carol thing where she's like, it's Christmas. And he's like, no, it's not. It's like, yeah, it is. Oh, shit. And so then he races back to where he thinks they live.
Yeah, that's when he finds out, nope, it's some other random person. They don't exist anymore. That life is gone.
And then he runs across, in a deleted scene, I should say, on the DVD, he runs across Arnie shoveling. And he's in his Porsche. He's like, hey, we're friends. And he's like, huh. I like this interaction with Arnie of being like, sure we are, buddy. Like, oh, he's like, oh, wait, we used to go to school together. And he's like, yeah, I just think we could have been real good friends. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to get back to shoveling here. Like, it's such, because obviously the stranger's yelling at him. It was really funny. Then he basically calls up the number from the beginning of the movie where he had found out that Téa Leoni's character was giving away all of his stuff, or trying to give it back to him, but he never got in touch with her. And he calls her, gets the receptionist or whatever, the assistant, finds out where she is, heads to her place, and tries to make a big, like, grand gesture of like, hey, this is, we're supposed to be together. How long has it been? Blah, blah, blah. Kind of give all the, he doesn't really like spill the beans on what his experience has been, but he's trying to like kind of be like, hey, there's still something here. She's like, no, it's fine. I'm totally fine. Did you need closure? I'm good. Like, we're good. And so then he leaves with his box of stuff. And then he sees like, pictures of them together, like all their memorabilia. He smells like the cologne, which I know sensory is like a big thing. Like smelling sense brings up memories in the real world. Like, it's just one of those things. And I think that helps him kind of be like, oh, that's right. I really liked smelling like this around her and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, I'm going to go catch her at the airport because she's about to go to Paris for however long, just gone moving there. And then this is where he has that fuck you money I was talking about, where he goes and parks in front of the airport and like, you can't park here. And he just runs away because he's got, who cares? Tow the car. The dude's going to be perfectly fine. No matter what happens to that car, he's fine.
Yeah, especially it's a Ferrari that he pulls up in. But yeah, he gets the information kind of based off of her assistant saying, oh, your flight leaves at this time here. This is where the flight takes out of because her firm is moving. And that's where he stops her from getting on the plane, but also gives this big speech of, hey, we're married. We have 2 kids. And just goes on about what his glimpse was to stop her from getting on that plane.
Yep, and it's a really fun, like, classic scene at the airport, which also reminds me of Love Actually, right? You go in there and you make this grand gesture, like, hey, here's everything I know, and you would sound like a crazy person, right? But she's like, he's like, just stay here for one night. You don't have to go. You can go tomorrow. Let's get a coffee. And she thinks so much. She's like, okay. Like, okay, Jack, like, I'll do that. And it's just like, she made the choice again for him. She did the opposite of what happened 13 years ago. And they go have that coffee, and it's snowing outside. Or I should say the other snowing thing was when he's taking the dog for a walk and he stops and the music swells and it's snowing around him right before he goes up to like tell her, don't forget about me, etc. So there was those 3 moments of snow kind of indicating big changes and moments. But yeah, so, and that's really how it ends. Like, he makes this grand gesture. She makes the choice he never did. Roll credits. Yeah. And so you had a problem, not problem, but this is where the implication of why it's sad happens. Am I correct in guessing?
Yep.
Okay.
100%.
Walk me through this.
It's one of those, I got done with the movie and I was like, yeah, it was a good movie. And it was fun, enjoyable, laughs here and there. Nicolas Cage being his crazy self, family that he created, yada, yada. But then at the end, you're like, that doesn't exist. That's something that he will never have again. Even if they have a family, it's not going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
What other issues does he have after this movie? Because I'm sorry, no person is walking out of that saying of like, I just saw what I could have and now I don't have it.
Yes, this is where if you think about the movie for more than the ending and go, oh, that's nice, you go, oh shit. They're both 13 years older. He's been in my mind, an asshole for 13 years doing the rich shit, screwing over people, running businesses, sleeping with women. She turned into kind of a greedy person. She doesn't do the pro bono lawyer stuff. She basically wanted the money, and she laughs at the idea of not getting the money, right? So she's a completely different person, has slept with other people. Maybe she was married at one point. All this stuff. Life has changed for both of them. So you're starting over at that point. And I mean, if you're thinking about it just from logic, Annie's not going to be Annie. Josh isn't going to be Josh, right? These are different sperm cells, man. These are different eggs. Yeah. Everything's different.
Well, that's it. And if they decide to have kids.
Yep, that's true. Like, I mean, I think they still put them, I don't know what their ages are supposed to be. I imagine they want it to be like early 30s, probably, but they don't really give us a pinpoint, I think, because there's like, well, what can happen? So what I have to do is, in my head, I have to think of my best case scenario for them. And I think, well, if Don Cheadle exists and he can give you glimpses, I think because he passed whatever test, he went and made the right choice later. That my hopeful dumbass is like, they're going to have a kid. They're going to have 2 kids, and it's going to be Annie. It's going to be Josh. They'll just grow up in 2000 and not in, 1990 or whenever they had them. I think they just have the same kids. And that's because, I mean, if the power of magic already exists, they can have that life. They just will have that other memory. He'll be the only one that remembers all the shit. So that's always going to be in his fucking brain. My God,
they won't have that same life though, because now they have an abundance of money, and it's just not stress. It's completely different.
Well, he does tell Alan to go do the business thing. I think he quits the business. He's still gonna have a shit ton of money. Don't get me wrong. They go and buy that. They can buy that house from that dude that opens the door when it's not him anymore. He's gonna be like, He's got fuck you money. Buys that house, but he doesn't have the friendship with Arnie. But I think he makes friends with Arnie. You're just starting that life 13 years later, and that's why it is. It's like he still gets her and she gets him, but it's under completely different circumstances. Like Is it what Big Ed? Is that the grandpa that had the heart attack that made him stay in the... Dude, what happened to Big Ed when he had the heart attack? He wasn't there for that part. So like, did Big Ed, is the business still there? Like, there's so many things. You're right. Totally different where you're like, fuck, it hurts. It actually is. It's upsetting because you're like, shit, he can't get that great life that we saw. He'll always be chasing that high. That's why I think, 13 years is a long time, but it's also short in some regards. Like, I think as long as he can still get Annie as she was and Josh, I think he'll feel better. And if they just move to the suburbs, call it good. I don't know. They won't have the money problems. That's for sure. Maybe they're both stay-at-home parents and they just live in their life. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the same. Annie grows up spoiled. Josh grows up spoiled. They have a nanny. They don't even have to change the diaper.
A nanny for Annie? Yeah.
Yep.
You can think logically like I usually do, and I'll think fantastically like you usually do. We'll split for this one.
That's fair.
But yeah, that is The Family Man. So overall, we don't usually ask if we'd recommend it, but would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would recommend it during Christmas as a Christmas movie. Yes.
So not even for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I guess you could do Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah, that's right. If you're listening to it now, you've got 4 days. Watch that shit and feel really bad about your spouse.
Wow. Or feel good and lucky that you have your spouse.
Whoa, rude. Fuck you. Fun fact in this movie, the guy that answers the door at his house when he goes to see if he still lives there is Robert Downey Sr.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a nice little thing. Let's see. There also, there was a bonus test in the movie, and I was gonna write down what the potential answers could be, but I think there's a bunch of different variations. But they ask you very leading questions, so it's like choose your fate on the DVD extras, and so it's like, let me see if I have I took a few of the questions down here. And it's basically yes or no, or, options A through C or whatever. And then it tells you kind of like a recap of, well, this is your story. And mine, so the first question was, I have never forgotten the birthday of my spouse, my mother, or my boss. And you have to pick one of those.
I have never forgotten the birthday of my wife, spouse, or no, wife and spouse.
Same, yep. Spouse, mother, or boss.
You can only pick one.
Yep.
I guess I go mom since I've known her longer.
Okay, that's fair. You have to make concessions because they'll get it. Again, they are very leading. Okay, so the thing that creates the most warmth in my soul is, and there's only two options here, hearing a child laugh or a jigger of single malt. So it's like a glass of single malt whiskey.
Single malt.
Okay, yep, okay. I can't wait to purchase the new, and it's either the Bang and Olufsen phone, which is just a fancy rich person phone, or a Fisher Price phone.
The fancy phone.
The Bang phone, okay. You are at your best when you're in front of a board of directors or the PTA, the Parent Teachers Association. So which one, Nate, in your life have you been the better at? Because I had to ask myself the question too.
I feel like I'd be a piece of shit at both of them, but
which one would you be better in front of? Parents or board of directors?
What company are we talking here?
His company.
All right, PTA.
Okay. I said PTA too because like I can hang out with some parents and make them laugh. I don't know. Next one, a mental image that really turns you on is A, your spouse singing your song and dancing in the shower, which special shout out to Téa Leoni's shower scene. My God. B, a professional dancer singing in the shower. So a stripper or like, a prostitute or something.
Spouse.
Oh, wow. Shocking. You said that one.
What would you answer?
Stripper. No, I don't have, I can't, I don't get to answer fairly on this one. If I was married, you're saying, so I have to change my life? All right. When it comes to relationships, you have always had the philosophy that either love rules or love stinks.
Love rules.
Perfect. You will only feel like you have arrived when you are A, rich, or B, happy.
Happy.
And there's a few others, guys. So I'll give you the one that, or actually, I thought there was a lot more than that. I'm going to ask you the last three. Your day is complete when you are able to hang out late with your A, coworkers and talk shop, or B, family and watch a movie.
Like what would we saying as family?
Your family, your home family. Like if you had a wife and kids, would you rather be at home with them watching a movie or at the work office talking shop?
Okay, so yeah, wife and Heimdall and Sin.
Oh, yes, I'll tag Sin on there. On your way home each night, you most often pick up, now this one's great, A, milk, or B, cigars.
I want both. Give me my glass of milk and a cigar. No, it's that milk.
Okay. And a last question. You will go to your grave regretting that you did not spend enough time with A, at the office, or B, with your kids. Super leading questions. Like there are right and wrong answers in all of these.
Yeah. But really at the office?
That's all I'm saying, man. So you're going with family.
All right.
Fucking cheesy as hell over there. I don't think, I'm not sure. What did I? Oh yeah. So I chose mine. I don't know what yours is, but there's like ones from like Leo Tolstoy and things like that. Mine was from Anonymous, a quote. It says, "Cherish your family and honor your community as you do now. Don't let the temptations of commerce rule your better angels." So they told me that I picked too much money things and I should rethink my life, I think. So
yep. One day we'll find an angel for you.
I don't need this. This is not the podcast for that. My love life is.
I was talking Christ.
Tragedy. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll welcome Jesus into my life. You believe me? All right, that is the movie and just some random funness around it. What do we got next?
Next, we're teasing what we're doing next week. I've done it. I followed Todd's algorithm.
You guys love the peek behind the curtain? Do you love it? I love it. Yes, what are we doing next week then, since you want to tease up the tease up? Because it's our topics.
Week. Yeah, it's our topics next week, and I am going over Valentine's Day.
See, now who's the sap now? Or it's probably talking shit about it if I had to guess. My topic, or as we like to call them, side quests, is going to be fate, aka destiny, aka free will, aka all of that goodness. So, yeah, we will talk about those next week.
Cool. And in the meantime, what do you recommend for everyone?
This week, I'm going to recommend something that has turned out to be timeless, unfortunately, but also still relevant. And by the time this comes out, also probably still relevant. And that is Andor. The series Andor on Disney Plus. Season 2 especially, but both of them are great seasons. They should have been nominated for Emmys and shit. Like they really should have. They're fantastic acting, setting. I mean, it's not that cheesy Star Wars, It's like, this is how you slide into fascism when somebody's in power. These are some blueprints to it of like what they do and the people that fight against it. And it's just people are doing a lot of the speeches on social media from the show, and they all hit, as the kids would say.
It's weird, like when Rogue One, which started Andor in a sense, all of that came out, that was going through as like, oh, people aren't gonna like it. It was gonna be one of the more hated like Star Wars projects, but it turned out to be one of the best projects. Absolutely. I definitely second that recommendation.
Cool. I had a feeling you would. I know you like that one as well. What do you got for the listeners this week?
I have a comic book. Oh. And I am recommending Invincible by Robert Kirkman. Beginning issues were illustrated by Cory Walker and then later taken over by Ryan Ottley. But overall, it's a good comic series. It's just nice because it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's not just an ongoing series. I think it's 151 issues, but easily accessible still to pick up.
Nice. That's a good run, 150.
Yeah.
Would you say 151?
I think it's 151.
Ooh, gotta read them all. It's like Pokemon numbers right there. OG Pokemon. Yep. Would you recommend the television series? Because I actually like it. And I think, season 4 is coming out pretty soon?
Season 4 is getting close to coming out. I would recommend reading the series first if you can, and then going through and watching. I mean, you can. You forget stuff. You can go through and read it.
I mean, I could. I don't know the ending, so I would basically spoil the ending of the show, weirdly, right? But yeah. So it depends on you if I want to know what's going to happen in the show or not. Usually I do know, and it's kind of fun to see it kind of happen where everybody else knows and I don't, but yeah. Well, maybe. I think it's a good rec, and I think I could always borrow yours, so I don't have to actually spend money on it.
That is true.
Well, that's recommendations. This is where we tell you to follow us at the Indecide on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There you can, rank, rate, subscribe, comment, etc., whatever you do on those things, do them. Make sure to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, and tell those you hate, because we love them more than everybody else. Sorry, people we love. We love the people we hate more. You feel the same way? Nate's looking at the ceiling again, contemplating whether to respond to that nonsense.
I am. It's just more of everything that's been going on in the media. It's hard of
Don't ruin this for me.
It's so hard though, because people
all right, we don't love you.
Yeah.
But that's why we want you to tell those people to listen.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
All righty. Well, with that, please tell me what's happening to me in playing English without the mumbo jumbo.
Classic Cage and classic line. It's fucking Candyland. See you next week.
Goodbye.